I mean, it's not good, but it's fine. But I lied. Logic. Zip. I don't care. Hello and welcome to the part 2 of this sewing challenge. I'm very excited to get into it today. If you are new here, welcome. I am currently doing an 8-week sewing challenge with the goal of sewing 10 wearable garments. If you'd like to watch part 1 to catch up to where we are now, I will link that below. You can also watch the introduction video to this challenge where I talk about my plans and the things I'd like to sew. I have made 4 of the 10 planned garments. I have 6 more to win this challenge and I have less than a month. The pressure is kind of on, but I'm also like not going to stress myself out and like get too anxious about actually hitting the goal. It is a target, but the world will not end if I don't do this. Already I have made 4 new things that I love. I'm currently using one of them. I use it every day. These pockets are the best thing ever. But with that said, I'm going to stop talking and get into it. Hello, we are making a skirt. I have been sitting here thinking about it. I don't know what I want it to be exactly, because if I do a half circle, I like to just have the one seam that the zip is on, but I kind of wanted to add pockets. I don't know if I want pockets bad enough to do all the extra work to be able to put pockets in it. I'm gonna lay out my fabric and make a decision. Okay, so I cut out the main fabric. I cut out the lining a bit bigger because I'm going to attach the lining now so it's all one flat piece. I was worried that it might kind of shift out of place before I stitch it down and then have the skirt stick out weirdly, because it's happened in some of my lined circle skirts. So I've just spent like way more time than I should have pinning through the whole thing. Essentially, instead of like basting it, I used pins. So I think it's mostly lying flat. It should be okay. I'm going to stitch the bottom, so the longest seam, and the sides and turn it out through the waist, because the waist won't need to be sealed because there will be a waistband. That's how I decided. I was going back and forth. I was thinking of leaving one of the sides open, but that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm a little bit worried that it might get a bit weird on that bottom curve because obviously it's a curve. So I'm gonna have to clip it and hopefully that will be enough to like give it room. I don't know. I'm weirdly tired. This is weirdly taking up so much mental energy. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm listening to an audiobook as I work, so I'm just like along for the ride. But let's keep going. It's already like 2 p.m. I was hoping to get this done today. We'll see. Okay, things definitely slowed down because I was on the phone and it's hard to sew while you're on the phone. I kept muting myself and quickly like running a bit of fabric through the machine. My cat is here, sorry for the sound. I have lined the skirt. It took a really long time to kind of clip the hem, but it is done and I just pressed it flat and it did come out pretty much exactly how I wanted it to. There's no warping or pulling. So all that's left to do is to cut out a waistband, put the skirt together, and I am still going to hem it even though it is a clean edge. I think it's a bit long for what I want, so I'll probably take it up just a little bit. But yeah, what are you looking at me for? Someone wants attention. Look at this. Oh, hello. But yes, it is already nearly 5 o'clock. Today has really just run away from me, but we'll see how much more I can get done today. I really wanted to get this all finished today, but I know the waistband's gonna take me longer than it will in my head because I'm going to use interfacing because I've learnt my lesson. So yeah, I do think that's all gonna just take a bit more time than I'd like. I do have tomorrow morning free, so I'm sure I will use some of that time. Why is the post office texting me? I don't think that actually is. I think that's spam. I think I can get this done maybe tomorrow. If not, it'll be nearly done. But I do think I need to just put it down for now because I've been straining my eyes and my posture has been really bad. I've been really hunched over and I sound like I'm falling apart a bit. But yes, I will see you later. Hello, it is Saturday afternoon, the next day, and I'm actually kind of planning on wearing this skirt tonight, so I need to get it done. This morning off camera I have made up my waistband. Not sure which side to use. We have this one or that. This one looks a lot neater, but I think I like the contrast of the black, so I'm not quite sure. I'll see how it looks. First though, I need to sew up the only seam on the skirt and put the zip. I hate zips. I'm not sure how this waistband is gonna go. It feels pretty good and stable. I used interfacing. Finally, I'm using interfacing in my waistbands. Be so proud of me. But I basically put it just in the middle. I don't know. It gave me a lot of trouble. I'm gonna show you something. I was gonna hide, but may as well. I wasn't paying close enough attention while I was putting the interfacing in, and so I kept like messing it up, like melting it wrong, and I burnt like a hole through it, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. I just patched it with another piece of interfacing. I feel like it's fine, but that happened like a few times. I never know how I want to finish a waistband. I'm gonna do hooks and eyes probably, but I don't know if I should have it overlapping a bit or meeting right on top of the zip, if that makes any sense. But I think I'm just going to get the zip in and make that decision later. Excuse the appearance. I'm kind of like in game mode now. The zip is technically in. Half of it went in really nice, smooth. Something weird was going on. I think I hit part of the plastic of the zip and it made the bobbin gather at the bottom. So I had to cut all that out, pick it out and redo it, and it just did not go in very smoothly. I was gonna say if I had more time I'd fix it. I probably wouldn't. It's fine enough. It's not that bad. I mean, it's not good, but it's fine. But all that's left to do is put the waistband on and work out how I'm closing the waistband. We'll work it out. That waistband took far longer than it should have to put on. Everything that could go wrong with my machine did. I was actually talking like a few days ago to a friend about how I haven't had a needle break in so long. Like, I can't remember the last time I broke a needle. Well, it happened, and before it happened a bunch of other things were going wrong, and just I'm running out of time because I want to wear this tonight. That's where I'm getting a lot of problems. I think I'm rushing and the universe knows I'm rushing. Got just over an hour before I have to leave, which is fine, there is time, but to be finishing something so soon before it has to be worn is always a bit stressful. I could just wear something else, but I've kind of committed in my head to this. Sorry, turns out I can't multitask very well when I'm stressed. Okay, let's chat. I don't know how I feel about the waistband situation. They're different sizes, like the one side to the other side of the waistband. Despite my measuring, they are not the same width. so it looks really weird. I just heard a car beep. I hope no one's here. The only person who could be here isn't due for a while. But I'm gonna finish this and I will see you when it's done. And when I'm ready, I guess tonight, I'll put my outfit on and show you. It's not gonna be anything nice, but you know. The skirt is done. Technically, I know I'm going to go back in and change some things, but it is fully wearable, which is all I need for today. I haven't hemmed it, which is fine because it is fully lined, so there's no raw edges or anything, but I'm not sure about the length. I think it's fine. The main issue is the waistband, particularly the closure on the back, the hooks and eyes. Put them backwards. The hooks, the like hook part is on the outside. I don't like it. I'm gonna go in, take them out, change them. I also just put them in really badly, but I'm in a rush. So I am almost ready to leave. I'm gonna go, gonna have a nice time with some family in my new skirt. Once I'm fully ready to go, I am sure I'll take a photo or something and show you the skirt fully styled, but it's gonna be pretty plain, let's be honest. It's just gonna be like a coat and some shoes. But yeah, okay. Excuse the lighting and my damp hair. There's less than 2.5 weeks left of this challenge and I don't think I'm gonna make it. 2.5 weeks is not a long time and I still have to sew 5 things. That's half a week per thing, which isn't much time. Excuse me if I'm a bit nasally, I've been sneezing all morning. But next up is going to be the green blue flannel skirt. I pulled out some of my old circle skirt patterns and have settled on a half circle skirt because I have enough fabric for that and not much else. I'm gonna have to redo my measurements and things. This is a really old template, so I don't know what the waist measurement on it is and I don't know if I've changed since then, so I'll remeasure, but that's what I'm going to do. I am changing up some of my projects. The truth is, I wanted to make a winter dress to wear in the winter and winter has 7, 8 days left, so I'm not going to bother. That's gone back to the bottom of my priority list. It can be done next autumn, whatever. But instead of that, I do need to find a different project. I do know what I'm replacing it with, and that is just an apron. I have a bolt of calico. I need something to protect my clothes while I work. I work with wax. Sometimes it splashes. I need to be able to protect my clothes. But I'm not really sure about some of the other projects that I planned. Okay, I have about 20 minutes before I need to leave, but I'm ready to go. So I thought I'd cut out the fabric while I have a bit of time so that it's done and I can get straight into sewing when I get home. Hello, I did not cut out the fabric yesterday, but my lines are all drawn and ready to go. I'm thinking maybe I'll be able to do it today. I've got a friend coming over and we often will just craft in each other's company. I have also been working on what the apron is going to look like, which is going to be the next project. I'm hoping to get sewing today. I'd do it now, but I have to clean. I feel like every day I'm just saying I need to go and clean, but every day there is cleaning to do. It's exhausting. Hello, it is 9:43 p.m. Am I usually in bed by now? Yes, but it's a Saturday, which means my invisible friend is here, which means I am going to be up later than I am. And I was just mentioning that I have 2 weeks to sew 5 garments, and so we decided to sit in this room and maybe I'll actually get some done. Will I? Nah. Earlier I did cut the skirt out. It's just 2 panels. I haven't cut the waistband out, and I'm not doing that tonight. That can be tomorrow's problem. I've been having trouble deciding which way to actually have the fabric, whether to have the actual like brushed side out or what I think is the prettier side out. As yet undecided. Is that how the phrase goes? Sure. I'm gonna stop yapping, get these together. I think I'm gonna do the non-fluffy side out. So basically do it inside out and call it intentional.
It is intentional.
Unintentional.
Did I say unintentional?
Maybe I said unintentional.
Okay, well, I meant to say it's intentional.
It is intentional. It's just maybe a bad choice. There are 2 weeks till the end of this challenge. I still have 5 things to make. I haven't touched this skirt since I cut it out. I need to get it done today. I have a bunch of other things that also need doing today, so I'm hoping I can get it done this morning. It's currently 10:30, so if I can get it done by lunch, that'll be good. I really doubt that I can, but I'm going to try as hard as I can to get it done quickly. I'm probably not going to talk to you much because that stopping and starting makes this take a lot longer, but let's go. Okay gang, I have made my waistband. I did forget to put interfacing in it, but I don't think I care, so we're just going with it. I have done up one side of the skirt and fixed up the raw edge on the other side, so I just need to put the zip in, join the skirt together, put the waistband on. I think I'm gonna put the zip in before I do the waistband. Should I? No, I think I'm gonna put the waistband on, then do the zip. I don't know if it matters, whatever. Okay, the waistband is on very badly. It's super wonky. I don't know what I was doing or how it got so bad, but I don't care right now. The zip is also in. I'm getting better at doing zips, which is exciting. It's a bit bad at the bottom, but it's fine. All that's left to do is add some hooks and eyes and hem, and then we're done. So I'm gonna quickly do that. It's just after 12 o'clock, so I'm not running too far behind, but yes. And we are done. I'm gonna put this on, see if it even fits, because I haven't actually checked that. At no point sewing this did I put it near my body, so we'll see. Okay, so I don't know what happened. The whole time I was sewing, I was under the impression that I was cutting it short. I didn't add like seam allowance or anything, so I was very aware that I wasn't working with a lot of room. Somehow, I was working with room and it's actually a bit big. I am only wearing a thin top under it, so maybe I'd have to wear it with a little more. To be fair, I do usually wear shorts under my skirts, but because I was just trying it on, I didn't wear that. So that's like a little bit extra, you know, an extra layer, but I don't know how this happened. There is a gap from where the zip was, so that's giving it a bit of extra space, but there is like a pretty good amount of room in it. So yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't know if I'm gonna fix it, but this is another garment made. It's not so big that I can't wear it. It just doesn't stay up at the small of my waist. It drops down that little bit, which I kind of hate, but it's fine enough, I guess. I don't know, I'm glad that it's done and I do like how it looks. I'm just really surprised by the size. But yeah, garment number 6 is done. It is 12:55, so I did that in reasonable time. I think I might start the next project today. I do, however, have a lot of work that I need to do for like real work and also video stuff. Today, the part 1 of this was meant to go up and it's still not edited. I think I'm gonna go have lunch, do some editing, do some work, and then maybe come back and cut out the fabric for the next project. That next project is going to be an apron made out of this kind of calico. And I've been taking some measurements and drawing up plans for that, so I shouldn't have too much like of the boring stuff to do. I should be able to just cut it out. It's mostly gonna be like rectangles and stuff it shouldn't be too hard. Okay, I was really unhappy with the fact that I couldn't wear it, so I did quickly take it in super quickly and badly, but I took it in from the opposite side to the zip and it fits better. Don't look too close, like as soon as you get close to it, it's not great, but I knew I probably like wouldn't wear this out anyway. This is very much a home piece for me because I'm really insecure about what I wear in public. But for right now, I really like it. I love this shape of skirt. It's just so fun. I have realized I need to make some summer skirts because this is like flannel. So with spring coming, I think I need to get some lighter fabric or use some of the hoard of lighter fabric that I have and just make some skirts. Hello, I just went through and fixed up all the measurements for this apron. I've decided I'm going to finish each piece before I put them together, mostly because I don't want to have to deal with finishing seams on a gather in particular. But the shape of apron I've decided on. You're not going to be able to see this. I've changed up the design a little bit. I have no idea how this is actually going to turn out, but I'm letting myself make it up as I go kind of thing because it's an apron. I just need it to cover my clothes while I'm working. But I think I'm going to try and cut it out now just because I'm feeling like sewing, which is interesting considering I sewed all morning, but I've still got that energy. I haven't done most of the other stuff that I do need to do today, but I can do that stuff when the sun goes down, if that makes any sense. Like, I need good light to do this. I don't need good light to be on my computer. So yeah, I'm gonna get this cut out, and I probably am not going to actually sew anything, but I have already changed the thread in my machine because I cleaned up in here and thought I'd do it while I was at it. I need to vacuum in here, but whatever, I'll do it after the apron. Hello, I am very warm. I've been in front of the iron, pressing all of the edges of the pieces so that I can just stitch them down and not have to worry about any raw edges. I think maybe I've done them all other than the skirt. Because it's gonna get gathered, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with that, but everything else is done. I can start stitching. And I didn't think I was gonna do that today, but why not while I'm here, you know? So I'm gonna start stitching everything down. We'll see. I don't know how much I'm gonna get done. I am procrastinating all the other things that need doing, so we'll see. I probably won't be sewing for much longer today, but yeah. I said I wasn't going to start attaching things, but I lied. I'm going to put the neck straps on the body piece. I don't know what to call anything because it's not like clothes, but anyway, let's get going. Telling myself that what I'm doing will be the last thing I do before I go and do other stuff, but I just keep going. So I've added the pocket. I don't know how high I'll have it, probably like that. One side is way longer than the other because I was worried it was a bit short, so I wanted to leave one longer to tie in case. The pocket is attached. Next, I'm going to gather the skirt. I'm going to sandwich together in the waistband and then just attach the waistband to the top. Right at the end. So it's kind of done, as in like it is done. I finished the whole thing now instead of tomorrow, which is really good. I'm really happy. Let me put it on and I'll show you how it turned out. It's not anything special, it's just an apron, but I made it in a very short amount of time. I'm really proud of that. It's got this top pocket and then two smaller pockets. They're very shallow, but just enough to chuck whatever in. I'm really happy with this. Okay, that's 2 more projects down. That takes us to 7 of 10, which is pretty good. I have 2 weeks to make 3 things. Hello, I last spoke to you I think on Monday. It is now Friday. I have not sewn since. The sewing room is currently an absolute mess. I decided yesterday to empty out the top of the wardrobe because I knew I had some clothes up there and some fabric, and it is now everywhere. The reason I haven't sewn all week is really silly. I know what I want to make, but it's another skirt. And I thought maybe I should put it in between other projects so you don't get bored of seeing skirt after skirt after skirt. But I don't know what I want to do for those other projects yet, so I put it off, and now we're running out of time, so I'm just gonna make the skirt. First, I need to clear up this room. I think everything is just going to go back in its bags and back in the wardrobe because I don't have the time to deal with it all right now. I have about like 2.5 to 3 hours before I'm going out later today, and I was thinking hopefully I could clear up in here and get the skirt started, hopefully cut and maybe a little bit started. This is not one of the original planned projects for this challenge, so I'm gonna grab the fabric and we can talk about it. This is the fabric. It's a kind of textured gingham with extra lines of stitching. I think it's really cute. I've had this fabric for quite a while. This was going to be a dress last year. I started making it and I started with the bodice, and I made essentially like a tank top, but the fit wasn't gonna work for a dress, and so I just left it. And then I was going to make a separate skirt with this fabric, and I wanted it to be one of those like, I can't remember what they're called. Maybe it's like a petticoat style where it's got a tie on the back that you bring to the front and then a tie on the front that you bring to the back. But I could never work out how to do it, and so I never did it. That's not what we're doing today. I am actually currently wearing the last project. This skirt has brought me so much joy, and I want a skirt that is basically the same cut but summer appropriate. The one I'm currently wearing is made of a flannel, so I think in the middle of summer it might be a bit rough. But this is pretty light. I'm worried it might be a little see-through, but like I wear shorts under my skirts anyway, so I don't care that much. I laid out the fabric a few days ago and checked kind of how it would fit, and I think I can fit it like pretty much exactly. I've got another scrap over there that I can make the waistband out of. Right now, all this has to be is a above the knee skirt. It's gonna be a half circle skirt using the same pattern that I did for the other one. I do need to remember to make the waist a little bit smaller, so I think I'm going to do the calculations for the waist size again, because even though I did that for this one, it was still a bit big. I don't know where I went wrong, but I'm going to clean this room so I can lay my fabric out, cut it out, and get sewing. Okay, I have marked out the pattern. It all fits, all good, and I can get the waistband out of the single block of fabric instead of kind of scrounging on the spare scrap that I had. The current concern is that it's going to need a zip, and I have zips. This is a very stark white, whereas the lighter color on the fabric is very much a kind of cream beige color. It would make a lot more sense if the zip was kind of this color, but this is a dress zip and for a different project. So I think worst comes to worst, I'll just use this white one. I might see if I can head to the fabric store and pick something up. I am kind of sick of having zips in everything, but I don't really know what other closure system to use. It shouldn't be too distracting to have the white zip. You'll only be able to see a little bit of it anyway, and like, who cares at the end of the day, you know? But with that said, I'm going to cut it out. I have probably just under 2 hours before I'm heading out. I'm not sure exactly what time because I'm waiting on someone, but I'm gonna get it cut out. It's going to be in 4 pieces rather than the 2 that this skirt was made of. And because of that, I'm not worried about the waist size. There is going to be a bunch of extra seams in there, taking up a bunch of extra space. In fact, the waist might end up being a bit too small. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it as is for now and try and make my seams pretty narrow. Yeah, let's go. Hello, it is now 12:15. I have just made the waistband. The interfacing took a while, as it always seems to. It's really hard to cut out, I don't know why, and ironing it in takes a bit of time, blah 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 blah. This is done. I'm not going to attach it yet. I'm going to put this down until I go out and come back, but I am happy with the progress I have made. I'm taking a scrap of fabric in case I pass by the fabric store. But if I don't, I'll just use that white zip. I've made some good progress. I'm pretty happy with where I am. All that's left to do is put the waistband on, put the zip in, and hem. Also, like the last seam, I've already finished the edges, so it's just gonna be a straight stitch. Simple, easy. Yeah, okay. Hello, I just got back home. I did get a new zip, I'll show that to you in a second, but I got home and tore into a box like a feral animal because I got a new mirror. And it's beautiful and I love it. You can see me hunched over as I film. My new mirror is beautiful. I need to clear some space for it. This room is a mess again because I tore into the box like a raccoon, but I'm very excited. I did get a new zip. I took a scrap of fabric with me to color match as best as I could. This was as best as I could. I also got this cotton linen fabric. It's 2 meters because it was on clearance, so I did. And I'm just looking at my bookshelf and I think I might already have it, so whoops. It looks like it might be the exact same color as the fabric that I already have, but that means I can use this without any concern because it doesn't matter if I ruin it, I have some more. Logic. But look at my mirror, isn't she beautiful? I have been looking for something like this for so long. I've been looking secondhand, I've been looking new, and anything I could find that was even vaguely what I wanted was wildly expensive. This was alarmingly affordable to the point where it's like, how did they charge so little for it? It's definitely not like made super well. The paint is a bit smeared, but you know, that's what you get for a mirror that costs $99. We're one step closer to this room having the feel that I want. Also, this means I now get a mirror in my sewing room. I should get back to sewing. I kind of can't be bothered. I was out for quite a while. Just running to the shops to pick this up did turn into coffee and cake, which was lovely. I had a good time. But it does mean that I am now not in the sewing headspace and I'm just looking at my machine and I left it on. That light has been on this whole time. But yes, I went in thinking I wanted to get an off-white zip. Instead, I got this kind of muted brown. It's not the exact color of the fabric, but it's a lot less noticeable. The original one I was looking at was, it was a deeper brown, but it was also kind of gold toned. This one just doesn't stand out. It's very much fade to the back, which is what you want from a zip. So yes, I thought it would be really fun to film at this angle, and then I realized that my microphone is like kind of one directional. So I don't know if you can hear me right now. I'm gonna move the camera really quick. Hello, you can see all my mess in the mirror, don't look. Instead of doing anything actually productive, I just moved my desk, and I think maybe I like it here. It completely changes the flow of the room, and I just don't quite know if it's gonna stay this way. I would love to have this desk facing out, basically the opposite way, and leave a spot to sit, or have it so that me sitting this way would be at the desk, but the back of it is unfinished, so I can't really do that. It would be really cool, however, to be able to stand on the other side of the desk. Maybe I could actually cut out my fabric on a table instead of the floor, but that's not happening right now. I am going to tidy up this room and then maybe get back to sewing. I probably am not going to get much done today, but yes. I'm nearly done, but I have a question for you, and that is, will my waistbands ever actually line up? I double checked it like 1,000 times, I had pinned it up and it all lined up, and then while I was actually sewing, it moved. So this isn't too bad, it's definitely been worse, but I had to go in by hand and tack down the zip flaps at the top, because I did make the zip come all the way to the top. Usually I end up doing hooks and eyes, but for this I wanted to try this out. I got a longer zip, I thought I may as well try. I'm going to put this on and see if it even fits. When I was looking at it before I had done this last seam, it looked like it was going to be pretty tight, but everything changes once it's on a body, so I'm going to try it on and hopefully it fits. If it doesn't, then I'll save it for maybe one day, I guess. I think it might actually be a perfect fit. Like, this might be the best fitting skirt that doesn't have elastic that I have ever made. All that's left is the hemming. I'm super excited. I didn't really feel much about this skirt. It was just gonna be a good skirt for the summer, but the fit is surprisingly good. Like, immediately, because it fits well, it is really comfortable, and I'm just very excited about it. I don't know if I mentioned where the zip was going to be. It was going to be a side zip. I think I like it at the back. I can change that like whenever I want, just how I put it on, but I think I like having the bias at the front. I think I like how it's sitting. Like, it is fine with the zip on the side, but with the zip on the side, the zip kind of warps itself over my hip. I don't really know how to describe that. It just kind of bunches up. And I think having the straight grain at the front takes away from the shape. I don't know really how to explain what I mean, but yeah. I am going to do this hem and then we're done. Okay, it is done. I'm going to be honest with you, something weird happened with the tension right at the end, and I didn't notice until after I finished sewing, and so I have decided that I do not in fact see it, and it is not a problem that I need to fix. So, it's still holding the skirt together. It's not a seam that's gonna have really any like tension on it. It's not a structural seam, it is just a hem, I don't care. It's also not like really noticeable to the point where it's distracting. So I don't care, the skirt is done. It's so nice having a mirror in this room now. I'm looking at it, it's great, I love it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or if I've just got the wrong interfacing, but it's not helping the waistband with like folding over and stuff. That's still happening. I don't think anything is going to make that not happen. Just because of like the shape of my body, it happens. But in terms of the skirt, I do really love it. It might be the shortest skirt that I own currently. Also, there does seem to be something weird happening with the hem. It may not be super even, The back is definitely shorter than the front. That is an issue that I never put the work in to fix. I know what I could do to fix it. I just don't bother. I like that the bias is at the front. I think it makes it a really nice shape. The way it sits is just a bit different. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Right now, because it's the end of winter, I'm very pale, and so the color looks like a little bit weird on my skin tone, but it's the end of winter, so when I'm wearing this in the summer, my skin tone will be different. My legs haven't seen sun in a while. I'm sorry if that ending was a little bit abrupt. This video was originally meant to contain the entire rest of the challenge, but I had 5 hours of raw footage and I couldn't cut it down into a reasonable length for a video. I was really hoping I could divide the 8 weeks into part 1, month 1, and part 2, month 2, but that just hasn't happened. So you can look forward to part 3, the end of this challenge, and the final wrap up coming later. If that video's already out, I'll link it below along with the introduction to this challenge and part 1. But I hope you enjoyed this part of the challenge. I really loved the time I spent sewing. You can give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. You can subscribe to see the last part of this series as well as any of my future videos. Let me know below which of these garments was your favorite. I don't know if I can pick one, but I have worn the blue and green skirt quite a few times. But with that said, I'm gonna go and I will see you next time. Bye.